At some point, you reach an age and stage in your life where the veil gets lifted and you start to see yourself and other people for what they truly are. This is especially prevalent to the people in your immediate circle that you grew up with or were raised by. Parents, cousins, uncles, aunts, teachers, coaches, people you idolized, people you looked down on. You're going to start taking people off of pedestals and forgiving and understanding people that you may have thought poorly of in the past. All of these individuals begin to serve a role that you will also be serving for others down the road, whether you choose to or not, and that is the role of either being an example or a warning. Examples are people who embody what it is you desire in your own life, the type of person you want to be, the type of traits you want to have, what you want to achieve, and the level of success you want to reach. Warnings are people who show you what not to do, what to avoid, what to be afraid of becoming. Almost nobody is completely in either of these categories. Most people are going to be a mix. They're examples in certain aspects and warnings in another. Both are equally useful and shouldn't be taken for granted. You don't have much of a choice in who you're surrounded by early on in life, so you just kind of play the hand that you're dealt. Unfortunately, this also happens to be the period of time where the effect these examples and warnings have on you is the strongest. Part of that is due to the fact that you don't have the foresight to see which of the two they really are. You become the people you surround yourself with, and this can be a great thing or a nightmare depending on what your upbringing was like. Of course, in any case, you can make changes and remedy situations later on, but the potency of the effect these people have on you in your younger years can't be overstated. Once you grow up and start drawing the correlation between actions and results, you begin to almost judge these people subconsciously. And that's not a bad thing. Don't judge them in their value as a human being because you have no right to. You don't know what people have been through in their own upbringing that causes them to act in a certain way or not. But you can still judge and observe as a third-party observer their actions and associated results and apply that lesson to your own life. Certain aspects of people's lives serve as warnings of what to avoid and examples of what to do in your own life. It's free knowledge and wisdom that can help guide you to a better life and avoid mistakes that have already been made by other people, so don't ignore it. You're going to start seeing things like, wow, my dad's a really hardworking guy when it comes to his job, but his garbage health and his body are also a result of his own inputs. So being hardworking, that's an example. Being unhealthy, that's a warning of what not to be. You know, it might be Uncle so-and-so knows how to make a lot of money, but he treats people like shit and no one wants to be around him. So his resourcefulness might be an example, but the type of person he is might be a warning. Wow, you know, this cool kid I wanted to be like in high school was a great athlete, but he failed all his classes and became a drug addict, and so on and on. These are all true stories from my life, by the way, and I'm sure you have plenty of your own. So the key is to not drift through life and just become whatever you're drifting towards. Be deliberate with your actions and put them through that filter. What would the person I see as an example do? What should I avoid that I've seen warnings do? The fun part is that you get to construct yourself like a video game character in whatever combination of traits and abilities that you want. Of course, we're all going to have certain advantages and disadvantages, certain starting points that are going to differ based on genetic makeup and upbringing, but this idea applies across the board, and if it's used correctly, it will improve your life. When I look at my own life, my dad led our family and left his home country and the comfort that he had for better opportunities for me and my family. He dealt with all the hardships and stress of figuring it out along with my mom, and that's the reason I have the opportunities I have. He's an example of leadership and going after what you truly desire regardless of how hard it's going to be. And so, because of that example, I have big goals and a vision for my life. I might die before I get there, but quitting will never be on the table because of the example that was set. Once we got settled here and things got good for us, he lost his sense of purpose. He ate and he drank for escapism. He had a cabinet full of prescription medications to deal with the chronic diseases that he gave himself through his actions. And so he was a warning for me when it came to health and habits. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I watch what I eat, I train in some form every single day. Looking good and being confident, that's just a little side effect. I do it because I refuse to end up like that. That's how strong the warning was. And understand this, it's not a choice you have. You can either apply this and be deliberate with how you live your days, or don't and just drift along. That part is up to you. But whether you want to be or not, you yourself are an example or a warning to the people around you in the next generation. This can be your kids or not. Just in general, the people around you will observe you and figure out which bucket you belong in. The next generation that comes up will view you as a warning or an example. If you decide to have children, they will also get to an age where their veil is lifted and they see you for what you actually are. The role you serve for them at that point is in your hands and is played out with every action that you take today. So deliberately design yourself like a video game character, treating the endless amounts of information around you of examples and warnings. Don't use who you were surrounded by and the things you went through that you had no control over as an excuse to destroy yourself and your life. Put it through the right filter and force it to work for you as an example or a warning. That's pretty much it for today, guys. Be sure to check the description for our newsletter and everything else we have going on, and we'll see you next time.